Episode 26. This is the Inside Deschutes County podcast. It's available everywhere. You can subscribe on any podcast platform. You can also find us on deschutes.org/podcast.
Deschutes County is an amazing place to live,
Ease of access,
work, and play.
Great place to raise a family.
I love the weather and the high desert.
At Deschutes County, we provide excellent service.
We're here to help you.
Deschutes County is the heart of Oregon.
Everyone wants to be here.
This is episode 26 of the Inside Deschutes County podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Eric Breon. This is a place where you can get up to speed on all the big county happenings. And there's not much bigger than the elections we have this year. Hard to believe, but we're just weeks away from May's special election, May 21st. So we're just going to jump right in. Talk to the man in charge of elections in Deschutes County. Steve Dennison, the county clerk, is here. Steve, thanks for being here.
Hey, Eric. Thanks for having me. This is great. I'm glad to be back.
You're back. You're back. You're a repeat.
Round two.
Round two. I love it.
Fantastic.
A friend of the program.
Yeah, thanks.
Lots going on in your world. Well, first of all, how have you been?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we're getting prepared. We're ramping up. We've been it's been a 6-month filing period really for some positions. So we've been thinking about this election for quite a while. It wasn't the only thing we were up to this winter as well, as you know, and you've been a great partner with this. But we had a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun with our I Voted sticker contest.
I know that's the last time I saw you. Mm-hmm. You were educating the second graders at Lava Ridge Elementary. Talk about that a little bit. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was pretty awesome. They were they were so great. It was the principal graciously allowed us to come in and hand out the stickers to the winner, acknowledge the winner. Her name is Ivy Sapp. She's a second grader over there at Lava Ridge. And
adorable.
Yeah, so cute. The whole thing was so cute.
Her family was great.
Yeah, her family seemed excited, and we gave her, presented her with a cover or a blown-up cover of our voters pamphlet where we feature her art. So each voter, of course, throughout the county will receive a voters pamphlet. And it has her artwork on there. I should rewind a little bit. So this was a kindergarten through 5th grade portion of our contest. And we had 68 entries from, I believe, 6 schools throughout the county. It wasn't just one school district either. So we had some entire classrooms or classes had submitted some entries, which was great. So we had a lot of participation. And then we asked county employees to vote to decide the winner. And, from that K through 5, I thought maybe it would be a 5th grader, maybe a 4th. But, to see Ivy's artwork shine and she won as a 2nd grader is fantastic.
Oh, she was so excited.
Yeah, she was so and if you recall, it was super cute. Her classmates calling her famous and asking her for her autograph.
They swarmed her after you were done speaking, and they came up and they were like, had little sheets of paper, and they were getting her autograph, and you could just see her beam up. It was great.
It was fun. So then just another plug here. So we're featuring her here during the primary election, and we're handing out her stickers. They're available in our office at 1300 Northwest Wall Street, Suite 202. And then we're also trying to send them out to the city halls. So if folks go to, if getting to Bend is a little tricky, you can go to the city halls throughout the county and pick one up as long as you vote. And then part 2 of our contest, we're also going to have 6th through 12th graders. And that contest is still ongoing, and we're still receiving entries, and we'll accept those through the end of June. So if anybody knows of any kids from 6th through 12th and they want to put together a little
time.
Yeah, there's still time. There's still time to do it.
So still time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I thought it was great. You were at the whiteboard, kind of teaching them about the voting process. They were glued to you. I think you may have missed your calling as a second grade teacher, Steve.
Yeah, there might have been a time in my life that I thought I might head that way, but no.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was very cool. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for your help on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, some big things coming up for you. May 21st is the date. But before we get to May 21st, there's some milestone dates for this special election, right? Mm-hmm. So April 30th, kind of an important one, deadline to register. Talk about that a little bit.
Sure, yeah. For this upcoming primary election, May 30th, as you mentioned, is a really big deadline, being the last day to register. So that really applies to folks that are new to the community here, if they had just moved in from another state, or if they just weren't previously registered. Here in Oregon with automatic voter registration, when you go to the DMV, it's quite a bit of our population is already registered, but if you're not, then that's the last day to do it. And then the other key about April 30th is that if you are not affiliated with one of the two major parties, that's the last day to affiliate, so that you would receive any partisan races on your ballot. So last day to register, and also last day to update your party affiliation. And non-affiliated voters is the largest portion of our voter demographic too. So, and the tricky thing is, the next day, May 1st, is the day that we'll mail ballots to everybody here throughout that lives here in the state. But that's the day after the deadline to change your party affiliation if you wanted to. So it's really tricky. By the time voters have their ballot in their hand, it's too late for them to change anything. So, and your average voter really doesn't think a lot about elections until their ballot is in their hand. So having that key date of April 30th on the top of mind is really important.
How do people check their status? So do they call you? Can they go online? What's the process there?
Yeah, no, great question. A couple of ways. Yeah, we're happy to take calls, or even via email. But really, the easiest way for somebody to look up or to find out make sure that their address is correct and their party affiliation is what they expected, and going to the Secretary of State's website, the My Vote section of their state website. So it's OregonVotes.gov, and then you navigate to My Vote. Put in your information, and you can check your address and your all of your other information just to make sure that it's up to date. Doing that before April 30th is a good idea.
And then ballots, you said, go out May 1st.
Yes. So
people have two options at that point when they get their ballots: mail, Dropbox. So Dropboxes are opening May 3rd?
May 3rd, correct.
And mail, let's talk about mail a little bit, because I think postmarks kind of come into play a little bit sometimes. What are you seeing in terms of people? Are they waiting too long? Are you getting late ballots? What's going on there?
Yeah, no, another great question. And I'll just roll back to, yes, we're mailing on May 1st. And if voters are getting antsy, if you don't, I would say give your ballot about a week or so to arrive.
To get there.
Yeah, to get there. If you don't have your ballot by, the middle of the following week, sometime around May 8th, 9th, that time frame, give us a call and or come down and pick up a replacement. But voters should have their ballots by then. And then as far as the postmark question goes, the rule changed a few years ago. So now if we receive a ballot after Election Day and it was postmarked on or before Election Day, if we receive it within 7 days after, so that 1 week after, we can still count that ballot. But the key is that postmark. If the ballot doesn't have any postmark on it at all, and we receive it within 7 days, we can still count it. But the post office does a really good job of adding the postmark to it. But if you mail it on Election Day, and it takes some time to get to a facility that does put the postmark on there, that might be a postmark after Election Day, and we won't be able to count the ballot. So we are seeing a bit of an increase in the number of late ballots. So I would say, yes, when you get your ballot and have your plan for voting, either dropping it off in one of our drop boxes throughout the county, or if you choose to mail it, I would just recommend mailing it sooner. Mail it the week before. Mail it 7 days before Election Day, just to make sure that it's in the system, to make sure that it is going to get that postmark, and to make sure we receive it. Take the guesswork out of it. Receive your ballot, vote your ballot, return your ballot promptly.
Makes sense to me. I mean, get it in early. You don't. I learned something today. You actually send postcards back to people if it didn't get counted, right?
Correct. If we receive a ballot after Election Day and it's too late and we can't count it, we do send a postcard to those voters, just notifying them that we received it, but unfortunately it was not able to be counted. And hopefully those voters that receive those get the idea, and then next time around make a better plan to return it earlier.
That postcard, probably not in big red ink, like deny.
Yeah.
It's not friendly postcard.
It's not that big red, not that red rubber
stamp.
Reject stamp.
Rejected.
No. Yeah.
No, you don't want to get one of those though.
Exactly.
You want to get it in early.
Exactly.
We said drop boxes open May 3rd, so for people who get their ballots right away, quickly want to get it out there. But Sun River, right?
Correct. Yeah. So all of our drop boxes are open on May 3rd, with the exception of the one down at the Sun River Library. Due to the renovations going on there at the library, we're not able to open that box this time around. Hopefully, they're back up and running, and we can open back up in November. But that just remains to be seen. And while we're talking about other drop boxes, it's worth mentioning up in Redmond that I think a lot of the voters up there probably already know this, but the box that was at the library has been displaced due to the reconstruction of the library in Redmond, and we're just around the corner right across from Centennial Park. So just down the road a little bit, but hopefully
in the parking lot right there, right across, I think, in the...
Exactly, in the parking lot across the street. I think the area locals would know it as the old Safeway, but I think there was a Safeway there in that spot at one point.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
learn something new every day on this podcast.
Yeah,
good to note that. Right. What's with all the libraries getting good? I mean, that's good news for the libraries getting all these renovations. That's great. Yeah. That's great. So. Talk about closed primaries. This has been something you and I've had conversations a bit about, and want to make sure that people understand, know what that means, why it's important for them to, one, understand, but two, take steps to make sure that they're in the situation that they want to be when it comes to voting. Talk about what's going on with that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, with the closed primary, what that means, difference between an open and a closed primary. In Oregon, we're entirely closed. So that means if the parties do have an option to open it, but in this instance, they're not. So unless you're affiliated with one of the two major parties, so the Democrat or Republican parties, you will receive a nonpartisan ballot. So everybody will receive a ballot. All active voters will receive a ballot. Everybody can vote this spring, but depending on your party affiliation will determine what you see on your ballot. So the Democrat and Republican Party voters will see those partisan races. So president, for instance, will be on their ballot. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank. Congressional races, state races that are all partisan, and then the portion that all voters will see will start with the judges, nonpartisan commissioner, which is new. Commissioner had been a partisan race here in Deschutes County until just when an initiative measure had passed a couple of years ago. So that will be on all voters' ballots now. And then measures. There are some local measures that will also be on the ballot this election. It's worth noting also there were two candidates that filed for sheriff. So because there was not a need for a nominating election for that, the sheriff's race has moved to November. So nobody will see sheriff on their ballots this spring.
So if you're a registered independent, and we only have a Republican and a Democrat running for president, they're not going to see that as a registered independent, correct?
Correct. Yeah. If you're registered, affiliated with the Independent Party or any of the other minor parties, or non-affiliated at all, you will not see president on your ballot. You'll receive a nonpartisan ballot, but again, voters are still able to participate. They just won't see those partisan races, and that's why it's important. I think a lot of people think of this and this election. They say it's a presidential primary, which it is. And that they want to participate and vote for president one way or another. That's why that April 30th date is so critical. It's taking a look, looking up your registration and doing an update if that's something you wanted to change.
I don't want to get too much in the weeds on this, but do people like this process? So is this unique to Oregon?
No. Well, other states do have closed primary elections. Off the top of my head, I don't know which ones do, but states change. States choose to open. Some states will go with a top two, or there's quite a bit of variations in how they conduct primaries. And yeah, as far as people's opinions about it, I think it's probably pretty widely unnoticed until you go to vote and you don't see what you expected to see on your ballot. And that's when people will be upset. People, I'm anticipating quite a few phone calls here.
You get some feedback? Yeah.
We get a lot of feedback, right out of the gate when people receive their ballots. They said, well, hey, why am I registered this way? And, that's how, that was the last action that they took, whether they filled out a registration card and didn't affiliate with a party, or maybe they were automatically registered through the DMV and didn't respond to the note that the state sends. So the process is you go into the DMV and you do a qualifying transaction, and you're automatically registered. The state will send you a letter saying, "Hey, you were at the DMV. You're now registered to vote. If you would like to not be registered, you can check this box." Or if you do want to be registered, you can affiliate with a party. Check one of these boxes. If a voter doesn't respond to that, they're automatically pushed through as and registered to vote, but non-affiliated. So the only way that a party is changed for a voter is when they take their own action. There's nothing automatic through the DMV to flag somebody or switch somebody to nonpartisan. We don't change voters' party affiliation. We won't even take it over the phone. The only way to do that update is to go to the state's website, OregonVotes.gov, or to fill out a new registration card.
One of the things that keeps you really busy is the outreach of, doing things like this podcast or talking to the media or social media posts. So this is out there for everybody listening to this, but we just want to make sure that you get this information again and understand the ramifications of not knowing.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. There's not just one, silver bullet way to solve this, getting this type of information out. It can be social media, it can be the news media, it can be outlets like this podcast. But there's a lot of information in just trying to reach the voters. We put it in the voters pamphlet, but by the time the voters have the pamphlet in their hand, it's right around it's getting really close to those deadlines where it's the close of registration. So important to take a look as early as possible. But we're always trying to find ways to reach out and let folks know.
So I've got a big question for you. What's on the ballot?
Oh yeah.
That's wide, but
Sure.
You're as familiar with it than anybody. So for Deschutes County, what are they going to see?
Again, they'll see president. They'll see other federal races, congressional races, state offices, judges, county commissioner. Trying to think what else. And then
Nonpartisan.
And the nonpartisan county commissioner.
That's a first Is it the first one?
It is the first time that that's been nonpartisan on the ballots here in Deschutes County. Each county has their structure can be slightly different, and our structure is now as nonpartisan commissioners. And again, that was passed through an initiative process to put this question on the ballot, and voters voted it in to change the commissioners to nonpartisan. And then there are also a handful of local measures on the ballot this spring as well.
So it'll be pretty robust.
Yeah, it will. Oh, and then if you're also affiliated with one of the two major parties, we also have on the ballot there will be precinct committee people. So on the back of your ballot, the last race there, it's their party representative seats essentially, but those are on there as well.
So take me behind the scenes a little bit, Steve. So you have people who come and work they don't work for you year round, but they help during elections. How's that process going? Do you have a lot of people signed up to help you on election day, opening envelopes, that kind of thing? You got all the trays ready? Do you oil up the machines for the counting? What else goes into the kind of the behind the scenes?
Yeah, no, you nailed it. Those are the big pieces. We have all of our equipment, our major equipment, maintained to ensure that all the belts are tight, and the rollers are still have some grip on them and things like that. But have our equipment maintained, and then start organizing our staff. We have on-call staff for this, folks that will come in and help us at the counter and on the phones, and running our processes. We have folks that are going to come in to pick up ballots at our drop sites. We have folks that come in, and our election board workers that will help with the removing ballots from envelopes, opening ballots, removing them from envelopes, inspecting them, scanning the ballots, and things like that. We are in our office. There are 11 of us, and mainly 3 that are dedicated to elections, and it's impossible. It takes everybody in the office, working as a team, a lot of planning and preparation to make sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. With the folks that we have in the office, the rock stars that we already have, we need more help, and those folks come in, and that's really the secret of the success of any elections outfit, probably coast to coast. It's those people that come in just during a cycle and then help you get over the hump, because that's the biggest piece of the workload is all coming in all at once. And so you need those returning people that know what the work is and how to do it and how to be accurate to make sure that everything's done properly. So I had another thought on that too, but it slipped.
And you show people this process too, right? Like the verification, system verification process. So people can check that out, make sure that everything's as it should.
Correct. Yeah, we're running logic and accuracy tests. We're going to test every position, every contest, every oval position on every ballot type. We pre-mark test decks and scan those ballots to ensure that the system is tabulating the way we expect it to. The public is always invited to come in and watch that process. The public's invited to watch any part of the process or to give us a call if they have any questions. I really appreciate when people call that might have noticed something on social media somewhere else across the country, and they'll call to clarify how things are working here. And I appreciate those phone calls. And we are entirely an open book, and really, really enjoy showing people what we do. So, yeah.
Do you get nervous about this process? I imagine November is like your Super Bowl. Is the primary election like a playoff game, like leading up to it? What are your nerves like as you lead up to this busy time of year for you?
We do the same work election after election. If a countywide election is a countywide election, we're going to be mailing the same amount of ballots, essentially. Give or take. the complexities that change from election to election, where they differ from last year, a special district election when we're voting for fire boards and school boards and all the other local district boards, to this one where it's a primary election that we're dealing with party affiliations and more ballot types for partisan ballots and things like that, to November where it's all eyes on us and what we're doing. Each election is different in the way it's made up, but I guess my point is it's the amount of attention that comes with each election that really differs. But our work that we do is essentially the same. It's just going to be more or less of it. For the primary election, I anticipate turnout probably somewhere in the 40s. That's quite a contrast to what we're going to see in November when it's upwards of closer to 80%, which excites me. We do the same work. We're preparing all these ballots, we're mailing everything out, and doing the work essentially the same way every time. I'd love to see voters participate, and exercise their right to vote, and play a part that way. So, and as far as nerves go, I'm excited. I'm excited about every election, but I'm really excited about the ones where people can come out and participate. It is. November is the big one for us, but again, right now for this May election, we're going to do the same work, and I'm just as excited. So, but my nerves are more on the on the excitement side of people.
You've got to continue the football analogy. I'm a football guy.
I was thinking, if it is, it's.
But the blocking and tackling, you've got that down.
Mm-hmm. We have a playbook.
You've got you run your plays, and so the process is the same. Mm-hmm. It's just maybe the magnitude of the results or the scrutiny that comes with those, right? Mm-hmm. So.
Mm-hmm. It really comes down to that amount of participation that we're going to have. And as far as other nerves go, it's right around this time when we're getting ready to mail ballots out, and always a little bit of nerves there, making sure that everybody's getting the right ballot and things like that. We are human. We create these, and we have our processes set up to ensure that voters receive the correct ballot, but until the masses really receive all those ballots, I always kind of, I'm waiting for a phone call to find out that maybe somebody didn't, but they do. So, but this is the time that I get nervous, when everything's done and prepped and we're just waiting for the ballots to hit the mail. But overall, these are exciting times.
I mean, do you just have ballots running through your dreams at night? I can only imagine, how do you separate yourself from the fact that you've got pretty much a big election, two big elections, the primary, the general? How do you not think about it? Your wife must be like, can we talk about something else other than the elections, honey?
Yeah, my kids too. Yeah. They're all about done with it, but they get it, and we have such a great team that in our office, everybody that plays a part to ensure that everything's done properly. Do I lose sleep? Of course, here and there, but it's overall, I trust in the people that are doing the work, and I trust in our process. I trust in the laws that we're following, and our checks and balances that we have in place to ensure that everything's going to be done correctly and accurately.
How do you distract yourself outside of work?
Take long walks.
Long walks.
That's always good. Yeah, my kid.
If I know you the way that I've known you, you're probably already working on your Halloween decorations, because you'll need the time.
Yes.
Because you got the election coming up. So
exactly. Yeah, there is a corner in my garage.
Backstory. Steve. Big on the Halloween decorations, so
yeah.
If you didn't, got to listen to the previous episode.
Yeah, listen to Clerk's
There's
episode.
Pirate ships and all kinds of stuff.
We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it for sure. And there is a portion of my garage that's currently occupied with a future project that's related to that. So,
is that a secret? Are you gonna?
No, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
see. No, we'll see.
Is it a big pirate ship
nope.
again?
No, we just have the one. You'll have to stay tuned. See if it comes together.
Wow. Okay, another episode of the podcast.
There we go. It's a teaser.
Love it. Steve Dennison, Deschutes County Clerk. A lot of good information. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for your team. Thank you for keeping us up to speed, transparent, all important things. Thank you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for having me.
For all your important election information, including key dates and ballot box locations, you can go to DeschutesCounty.gov/elections. And to check on your voter registration, you can go to OregonVotes.gov. For ideas for this podcast, you can email us at info@deschutes.org. You can also send us questions there as well. And remember to subscribe to the Inside Deschutes County podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also find us at Deschutes.org/podcast. But until next time, be safe out there.